There's a book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be out sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. First and foremost, I would like to say, Kala Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem HaKadosh, the ones to the apostles and elders, great millstone, grew well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the whole flag, to all you brothers out there pushing the word of truth and sincerity. Shalom, tell you brothers, stay strong, pushing. And it was quick lesson, and this is once again regarding the individual Judge Joe Brown, which he makes another great point in this particular interview, and he talks about how single mothers that are raising Israelite men, they the male children, they grow up to be monsters. They grow up to be destructive, because in order for that Israelite male child to grow up to be a man, he needs a father figure. So what happened was that Esau, he really went up in there and destroyed the whole family structure of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian family. He broke up the mother, the father and the mother, and in turn that destroyed the whole family, because now the male children, they grow up to be emotional, they grow up to be irrational, they grow up to without any logic, without any common sense, without any manhood. You see, so a father figure is very, very important in the aspect of a family. Okay, that's why you see a lot of these Israelite children, male children that grow up, they become gangbangers. They start killing everybody. You might look at them wrong, or you might not even look at him wrong. You might just look at him, and he'll want to clap you. He'll want to kill you for nothing. So they become monsters, like I read in the scripture. Let me go back to it. Second Ezra chapter 5 verse 8. I'm gonna go to the point. It says right here, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Exactly. So these menstruous women, which represents the Israelite woman, shall bring forth monsters, man. So you see these male children that grow up to be 14, 15, they grow up to be monsters, man. Like a straight menace to society. They grow up to be gangbangers or drug dealers or even homosexuals. You see, and that's another one. They grow up to be homos because they, like I said, they didn't have a father figure. A mother cannot teach a male child how to be a man. Okay, you need a male energy. You need a male spirit to teach you that, on how to be a man. Okay, how to be manly, how to be good with your manhood. You see, an Israelite woman won't teach you that. All right, an Israelite woman, she'll teach you how to be, like I said, emotional, rational. To do things without even thinking twice, without even thinking about it, without even thinking about the consequences. So that's why these dudes, they grow up to be a bunch of fucking monsters, man, demons. You see, and dudes like that, they're not gonna make it in the kingdom, to the kingdom, because that mindset, that's a jacked up mindset to have, man. Okay, that's why the scripture says we became new creatures. We left everything that was worldly, all the lust of the world, the mindset of a world. You know what I mean? We left all that shit to the trash, man, and we never looked back. We kept pushing forward. But the 2/3 of the male that are involved with the 2/3, man, they're a bunch of monsters. They're a bunch of demons. Why? Because they were raised by single mothers, and they didn't grow up with the father. Okay, so as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and play the clip.
See, one of the problems with the violence in the country, it's not toxic masculinity, it's a lack of masculinity. See, you input masculine principles into a boy, you get a man who is a man of public peace, dignity, and order, who can be brave and courageous when necessary. He imposes peace, he keeps others from acting out of line when they don't have what he has. So when you get all these little creeps going crazy in the hallways, they lack masculinity. Every single one of them, when you get into it, it turns out he had a problem with bullies. He did not know how to deal with one. And when you deal with the boys in the hood, same problem. The mamas who aren't very good mamas, because they started being mommy at 10, 11, 12, 10 years old, 13 years old, they're still children. And they were raised by somebody that wasn't a good mother, raised by somebody that wasn't a good mother, raised by somebody a good mother, and their great-great-great-grandmama is still walking around and she ain't even 70 years old. So they don't teach manhood to these boys. So they are emotional. Like, why'd you do it, young man? Well, I was emotional, young.
So you see what he said, right? He mentioned that the mothers were not good mothers. And that's facts, man. That's 100% facts. And you see, people are going to get offended at this, but hey, a lot of these single mothers, man, so-called black, Latina, Native American, Indian, single mothers, man, they were horrible mothers. They had a bunch of different baby daddies. They had children by other men. You know, they might have been committing adultery. Not only that, but they were probably, being shitty to the children. Like I said, they were being horrible moms. Horrible mothers. So they were probably talking shit to his little, her little son or her little sons. Calling them all types of you damn little niggers, and you're not gonna grow up to be anything, and beating the shit out of them. Hey, so much so that even some of the mothers, put their own children to death. So that's how much of a demon these so-called black bitches are, man. And also the Latina women, Latina bitches and Native American Indian bitches, but specifically the so-called black woman, man. She's the worst. All right, I'm gonna say it, man. The so-called black woman is the worst. Like I said, people are gonna get offended, but that's the facts, man. All right. But you see, they're a bunch of hood rats. They were being these single mothers. They were back and forth in the hood, getting popped. Having a bunch of trains ran up on them. You see, and then the son sees all that shit. The son sees that a mother ain't shit. So then he grows up to be just like a mother, or a good for nothing piece of shit. Just a dude in the street who's emotional and irrational, going crazy. All right, but now if he grew up with the father, guess what? That male child would have grown up to be at least, somewhat of, how can I say, somewhat of a decent person, because the father would have kept him in check. The father would have taught him the right way. The father would have punished him every time he went off. But a woman can't do that. All right.
Well, give me a reason. I was emotional. That's not a reason. Okay. See the difference, and I hate to put it this way. You take your typical hood rat, and there's no difference between him and a hood raised lesbian, except one's got a penis and the other one does not. Both of them are raised as girls. They like girls sexually. One of them has boy plumbing and the other one's got girl plumbing. If some fairy godmother waved a magic wand and the girl plumbing switched to boy plumbing, you'd have no difference, because they don't have manhood, because, well.
So you see what he said, right? There's no difference between, let's say a single mother had a daughter and a son. Guess what? They're pretty much the same, because the son is gonna have the same ideas as a woman, as a feminine spirit. Like I said, be emotional, be irrational, without no logic, without no common sense, without no manhood, right? So the son is pretty much gonna be a bitch made. He's a bitch made dude. He's a bitch boy, and guess what? Men can be bitches too. All right, so that's what pretty much what Judge Joe Brown is saying, because there's not gonna be a difference between the daughter and the son, because they're both gonna be with the same feminine spirit. All right, you see, and in this society they teach you that a man, carries a gun, he kills people, he's a drug dealer. That's not a real man. That's a punk and a bitch made boy. That's a bitch boy. All right, that's not a real man. A real man is someone who is manly. Who, he's in tune with his manhood. All right, that's why the Most High, he always says in the scriptures, man, to show yourselves men. All right, always show yourselves men. That's what the Most High always tells us, man. All right, but yeah, it's pretty much the point on the video. I'm gonna go ahead and get the scripture, which is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast; they give suck to the young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. Exactly. So, the daughter of the Lord's people, who is that? The so-called Negro woman, Latino woman, Native American Indian woman, or the Israelite woman, they have became cruel. So when they raise their children, man, they raise them to be a bunch of demons, a bunch of monsters, to be emotional. That's why, man, when I see videos of these Israelite women, especially the black woman, when they're recording the little son, right? And let's say he's 2 years old, 3 years old, they record them, and here it is, she's smoking a blunt, or she's twerking, or she's saying all types of derogatory terms. Then she's recording the little son, and the little son starts doing the same thing. She's recording her little son putting on her heels, and she thinks it's funny. Here it is, a little boy's putting on heels and dresses, but that's gonna stick in his brain, and guess what? He's gonna grow up to be a fucking drag queen, man. Or let's say, she's, like I said, smoking weed. He's gonna grow up to be smoking weed. She has a bunch of dudes running up and in and out of her house. Guess what? He's gonna be doing the same thing. He's gonna have, with the dudes he kicks it in the hood with, he's gonna have his homies coming in and out because he saw the mother doing the same shit, twerking and being a slut, being a hoe. All right, his energy's gonna try to be with the slut and the hoe because he wants somebody to remind him of his mother. So the son is gonna try to go with a bunch of sluts and a bunch of whores. A bunch of ass twerking sluts. So you see what I'm saying? All thanks to the so-called black woman, man, and the Latina woman, Native American Indian woman too as well. But once again, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to the young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. Now let me go ahead and look up the word cruel. Okay, which the Hebrew word there is akazar. Okay, which means cruel, fierce. Exactly, man, fierce. From an unused root, apparently meaning to act harshly. So, hey, these especially the so-called black woman, man, she is harsh. She is fierce. She wants to fight you like a man. You see all the videos where you see the so-called black woman stepping up to a man. And she wants to, puff out her chest, but then the dude smacks the shit out of her. The dude beats the shit out of her. Then she wants to cry. Now she wants to, cry for the police and things of that nature, man. Violent. Ooh, violent. That's the so-called black woman to a T, man. She is violent. Like I said, she'll want to fight you. She'll want to stab you. She'll kill you, man. I remember watching a video where I guess, the dude was having an affair with another woman or something. I don't know. They probably got into a fight or whatever. The so-called, the black bitch, she ended up, hitting the dude with their vehicle. I guess she sent the dude flying, I don't know how many feet far. The dude cracked his head open, man, and he was dead. And you see the black woman all up on the dead, so-called dead black man's face. Like saying, man, you shouldn't have done it. Why do you make me do this? Why'd you make me do this? And the dude is dead in the ground with his fucking, head split open because he just got hit with the vehicle. Shit, and who knows how fast she was, probably going fucking 50, 40 miles per hour. So she is a violent motherfucker, man. By implication, deadly. Ooh. And I just gave an example, man. The so-called black woman will kill you. She'll kill you for even the smallest things, man. She'll kill you for anything, man. Hey, she'll kill her own children, like I said before. She'll put her babies in the oven. Man, whew. I mean, look, all Israelite women are evil and wicked, but the so-called black woman takes the cake, man. Like I said, man, out of all the women of all women of all nations, even amongst the Israelite women, amongst, even the Moabites, the Ishmaelite women, even the Hamite women, out of all them women, man, the women of Judah, whew, you better watch out, man. Those are the worst. Okay? Those are the worst ones, man. Okay, but anyways, with that, I'm just going to end it. Judge Joe Brown, he made a great point. Okay? All these dudes are, they grow up to be monsters because of the so-called black woman. The Israelite woman. Alright, anyways, with that, I'm going to say, call out Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Kakudash. Till next time, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem, I'm going to say Shalom.